Order of operations with absolute values. Absolute values work just like parentheses, but they make the final number inside positive after it has been solved. So let's go over this. So you can see here, this is our absolute value sign with anything in it, like numbers or order of operations we need to deal with. So when solving, we continue our order of operations like please excuse my dear and Sally, where this absolute value falls into the parentheses step. And so when we look at solving this example 1, when we look at this is for parentheses, we have exponents, multiply, divide, and then add and subtract. So when we deal with this, we need to look inside first the parentheses, which is our absolute value sign. So let's go ahead and rewrite this. So we have 7 minus 4 raised to the second power. So inside this absolute value, we need to also follow the steps of order of operations. So we see we have subtraction and an exponent. So we need to first deal with this exponent. So 4 raised to the second power. So 4 raised to the second power is just 4 times 4, which is 16. So we have 4 minus 3, absolute value sign, 7 minus 16, close the absolute value sign. Then, dealing with since we've dealt with exponents, we need to now, we don't have any multiply or divide, so we just need to subtract now. So this would become 16 minus 7, which is 9, but we take the sign of the larger number, so it's negative 9. So when we look at this, we have 4 minus 3, then this absolute value sign with negative 9 in it. Now, absolute value signs, after they've been solved for, which this one has, makes whatever inside is positive. So if it's negative 100, it becomes a positive 100. So this then can be rewritten as 4 minus 3, and then we can just go our regular parentheses, positive 9. So now we've dealt with our parentheses, which is our absolute value sign. We don't have any exponents left in this. We don't need to solve for that. And so the next thing would be is to multiply or divide, which right here we have 3 times 9. So that would be our next step. So we have 4, we have minus, and we have 3 times 9, which is 27. So now we just have this one last operation, which is to subtract. Once again, we can go 27 minus 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. And then we bring down that 2. And so our final answer is negative 23. As we always keep the sign of the larger number. Now let's do another example. Example 2. Here we have 2 absolute value signs in this problem. Here and here. And we deal with them like on the parentheses step. So we need to first look inside each parentheses individually and work through the order of operations. So for this first one, we see we only have one operation, which is the exponents, which is 2 to the third, because that negative sign is not attached to that exponent, so it's only the 2 that is being multiplied. So we go 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8. So if we go back, we'll rewrite this one as negative 8. Then we have plus. Then for this one, we have 45 plus negative 56. So we just have one operation in here. So we can go ahead and just deal with this right here. So we can go 56. This is really just saying 45 minus 56. So we can go 56 minus 45, as it's easier to work this way. So we go 6 minus 5 is 1, 5 minus 4 is 1. But this is negative because we take the sign of the larger number, which is the 56. So we write negative 11, and then we have minus 5 raised to the second power. So here we've dealt with both parentheses by dealing with absolute value. Next we look at exponents, which we do have an exponent here, so we need to address that. So we can go ahead and rewrite these. So 5 raised to the second power is 5 times 5, which is 25. So we just have minus 25. Our next step will be, we don't have any more multiplication or division, and so we will just need to add all these. But let's first deal with these absolute values. So whatever inside becomes positive. So this is positive 8 plus positive 11 minus 25. So 8 plus 11 is 19, and then we have minus 25. So that is our last step. So we can go 25 minus 19. We need to borrow, so 15 minus 9 is 6. This is 0. So we're left with negative 6 as our final answer. Now let's do one final example. Example 3. Solve for the following. Once again, we can rewrite this to the side as this helps me. Now example 3. So here we have one absolute value sign, and we only have one operation in there. So let's go ahead and do that. So 4 raised to the second power is just 4 times 4, which is 16. So we have minus 16, then divided by 8. So now we have dealt with the parentheses, because all we need to do is just make this positive. So we can go 2 minus plus 16 divided by 8. So here we have done that step. We don't have any exponents, so the next step will be is to multiply or divide. So we have a division problem. So we have 2 minus 16 divided by 8, which is just 2. Now, we've dealt with this step, and we need to deal with the last thing, which is 2 minus 2, which is just 0. And that would be our final answer.